Hey, welcome, David here at my regular Friday volunteering Detroit City Chess Club at the Detroit Institute of Arts. Possibly the last week I'm going to be here because it's Friday and Sabbath's getting earlier. I might come a few times to the special event. Just wanted to report a few quick thoughts and congratulate. See here, we won the first place in the Michigan Scholastic Club K-8 junior high school and high school. I made the flowers I made at home earlier. We got fifth place, fourth place and fifth place in the K-3rd and K-5th. So, good showing. See, I had a lot of thoughts on education, and it's funny because I was just sitting here reading Kevin McDonald, actually, thinking about the in-group, out-group strategy and type people showing up. Over the last few years, we've actually gotten quite a few, a handful of whites. I got my Kevin McDonald here, which is interesting to think about. Chess coach, usually I think about developmental education, like techniques of thought, what the mind process thought, patterns, chess. And I was just reading through Kevin McDonald, some of the debates I had this week, and thinking about in-group, out-group strategy. And obviously being in Detroit, my experience may be similar or different from people who view this. And hey, God bless some sports. Yeah, so I might not have too much to say. Some new recruits. Just wanted to show I've been doing this every Friday for close to 10 years. And at this point already, thank God, Detroit basically dominates chess. So it's an intellectual sport. Most people play chess. And I train everybody. Most of the people who come here never go on to play tournaments. However, our teams, basically dominate state tournaments. Occasionally there's teams that are better than us. So, I was thinking of rambling, random thoughts on psychology. But I just want to congratulate kids here on an effort well done. Regular week, a lot of new people wanting to learn chess, and we set them up against random museum goers, newcomers, and it said, thank God we dominate in junior state tournaments and have one of the better chess clubs. We have it right here in the Detroit Institute of Arts. Yeah, Oswald, I basically chess as coach as a volunteer activity. I wanted to do some sort of volunteer activity, and so I chose chess because to some extent it's my best skill. I was a junior champion. Most people in the chess world, at least here in Michigan, familiar with me. They played with me when I was young. I'm pretty good. So, of all the different volunteer activities I thought I could do, I figured, chess is probably the most impact for my time. Because I'm good at chess, thank God. The little bit of coaching chess, it's paid off. A lot of these kids have went on to become internationally competitive. People have been following it. Got these two twin brothers. Mother's a math professor in the local school. Max, good kids. They're in one of the top schools in Detroit, which is slowly becoming integrated from historically probably been almost all black, but Detroit's been slowly becoming more integrated. So we have a handful of whites in our schools, and so actually, I mean, they're pretty good at chess, but actually, you could see our better chess. They're not our top players. We have some pretty top players, but it's just that was thinking about in-group activity, and I basically look at everyone the same. You could see different levels of cognition and thought development, and even emotional personality types. Like I was saying last night, Myers-Briggs. I'm an INTP, so INTPs come from all forms of people. Introvert, extrovert, sensing. These type things are. My mother's actually was the attorney for the Detroit Institute of Arts. So yeah, I mean, you could see the wall to show some the big dollars. It's we had the Grand Bargain in Michigan. You can see like $25 million. Manoogian, actually, the Manoogian family, they're Armenian. Big donors here to the museum. One of the Manoogians, the one who beat my Orthodox Jewish person I pray with for a local election. She was a Democrat, endorsed. So you can see all the donations. Big museum. I'm familiar with the museum. Like part of probably the chess coaching that helps these kids develop is the fact that it's right here in the museum. And actually Ford is our biggest sponsor. Although the Davidson Foundation, people who watch my channel know that they fund most of the Jewish charities, so the Jewish stuff I put on. But obviously Davidson Foundation gives to everybody, so there's $25 million to the museum, prominent Jewish family. And the museum, we're actually indoctrinated in Congress. I have our local congresswoman, so this club has been around for a long time. We've been producing state champions for really over a decade. So like they even have an act of Congress about this club. Every week we're here in the museum. So people are very proud of the results. The mayor, city council, they come support the club because we, thank God we produce champions. We teach kids math and science. Like our school is actually University Preparatory Math and Science. You see the kids with the uniform, the little U on it, and it says math and science. So chess is fitting, although chess could be artistic because it's symbolic and people could interpret the pieces, and it's a spatial reasoning that's very similar to art. But usually people look at chess as like algorithmic math and science. Coach Fight, who I volunteer work under, was a math teacher in Detroit Public Schools his whole career, who had after-school chess clubs, but his chess clubs did so well that he decided he eventually became full-time chess. And you're going to set up some of these pieces, and so he's been doing this like 25 years. When I was a kid, I competed, and I beat his kids in the teams, but I was stronger as a private player as a kid than any one of those teams. However, I was the single player at my school and didn't have a team. And sometimes I actually traveled when I went to national tournaments. I traveled together to them with the kids from this program, kids from Detroit. And, but the power of being housed here in the museum definitely improves the chess. And it makes a social activity because we set up, people play all types of people. So people just walk by, they see chess, and they sit down and play. So the kids in the program play museum goers, and it became part of the museum. We've been doing this every Friday for a while. I'm not sure if there's other museums across the country that have a similar idea. The idea of having like a scholastic chess program in a public space, I think, is common across the country. But this is one of the nicer ones. People have been following my YouTube. See, we had Nakamura here. Some of the top chess players in the world, have came and done simultaneous here. And that was some of my first live streaming. And actually, my videos with Nakamura on them have more views than any of my live streams. But some exciting chess here. Most of what I do is basics. Is just teaching people how to move the pieces, setting the pieces back up, telling people about the club, getting museum goers who come by and want to play a game, pair them off against some of the kids. And that's largely what I do. I don't do advanced coaching. The people who are serious about chess will find players who are significantly better than me for advanced coaching. Okay, you sign off. Just thought maybe people are curious what I do or some thoughts, and a lot of the stuff we're debating and talking to people all over the world, and things are different in different places, but the essential human nature, universal brotherhood of man, and like thought cognition, thought development, personality type, those are universal. And you could see it. Like, I've been doing this almost 10 years. Like I wasn't like conducting psychological experiments on the kids. I'm just a chess coach. But I always think about psychology. Chess player? You a chess player? Hey, you a chess player?
Well, we were going to sit down and play. Is that a...
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
it's a closed club?
No, it's open to everyone. If you want to play some of the kids from our program, you can also, or you could just use the board.
My name's Sam. How are you?
Yeah, very good, Dave Kelton.
Nice to meet you, David. This is Max and Zeke.
Yeah, enjoy.
Thank you.
So, I mean, that's what I do. Museum goers, open to everyone. If they had wanted to play, they might stick around and play some of the kids from the program. They have like no chance, I mean, because we have state champion teams. So, but we have kids of all levels. So, like, we could pair them off. If these kids know how to play, there's probably some kids they could beat here. But at the same time, we have, state champion players here. So, almost no one could beat most of the kids. Unless a person's like a serious chess player, no random museum goer is going to beat some of these kids. And that's what makes it interesting. It's fun. You're here in Detroit. And, I don't know how the game, it looked like it ended up in a draw. The chess, I like Magnus Carlsen, Cabio Caruana. They might come here to this club, like, if we pay volunteer. This is the type thing that they would support. Just check my YouTube page. Many people have came to support this club. And, it's interesting. I'll see what happens with the World Championship. Cabio Caruana is interesting, who's half Italian. Learned how to play chess in a synagogue in Brooklyn or Queens, I forget which one. Although I don't think, I think he doesn't have any Jewish blood, but I said he was in Brooklyn and he wanted to join a local chess club, and he ended up joining one in a local synagogue. You could look that up. I think it's even on Wikipedia. And obviously Jews are very overrepresented in chess, so anybody who plays chess quickly becomes familiar with the Jews, even if you're from a place that has no Jews. Mostly because of Bobby Fischer. Because Bobby Fischer was such a famous world champion and was so vocal about Judaism or his criticisms of Judaism. People look into, and there's a lot of other famous, really good Jewish chess players, but so you start looking at chess and you're like, who's the best? And then they see, well, disproportionately the Jews dominate chess, although obviously Carlsen's not Jewish, but even none of the top 10 players in the world right now are Jewish. But historically, there is a Jew factor to chess, but he was world champion during World War II, and he actually became a member of the Nazi Party. He was Russian, but he had been in France when the Germans conquered France. And so Alexander Alekhine joined the Nazi Party and played chess on their behalf. And he was actually world champion, and a lot of his top competitors were Jews. And he actually wrote a book on the Jewish mind, claiming that Jews have a unique way of playing chess. And to Alexander Alekhine, he beat the Jews with ease. He was world champion, and he kind of could see there was a certain Jewish psychology that came out on the chessboard. And it's an interesting book. I don't even think it's been translated into English. It's in, I think he wrote it in German, and it's in Russian, but that'd make for an interesting read. Alexander Alekhine, the Nazi chess player who was the world champion during World War II, his theory on Jewish chess players. But okay, I guess I'm gonna log off. Shabbat Shalom. I might end up streaming again after Shabbos Saturday night with Rundle. And take care, everyone.